Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris, on this election day. So, if you haven't gotten out to vote, polls are open till 8 this evening. You can go to My Vote to see what your registration status is. And you can also see where your polling place is. It could have been some changes. Um, I would have answered Meech's question when he asked me who I voted for.
Yeah, because you early voted, right? You
Hmm.
usually do.
Yep. Yep. I voted for the best candidate,
And who was that, sir?
the best one.
Yeah.
So anyway, good morning. Good morning. Phone lines open 414-444-5250. 414-444-5250. Man, you know what? I ate too much. So I fell asleep on the game last night.
Yeah,
It turned out to look at Michigan.
I knew Michigan was going to win. Michigan got some big boys, man.
Well, it just shows you how strong the Big Ten is, both on the men and women's side. You know that they both won championships. So
Yeah,
last year was UConn, right?
yeah, it was
Both,
UConn.
yeah. So
Yeah. They got that. Who is that tall cat that
Mara,
Michigan got? Yeah,
Mara, yeah. I think he's Australian.
yeah.
Yeah.
He, I mean, he trash though.
Well, you know what though, man? When you that big,
So
going
he
to
big for
post,
nothing though.
no. Somebody said famously, cannot teach height.
Yeah,
You know.
big.
Uh, well, big enough,
Right.
big enough. So, so we got that. There's so much going on in the world,
Yeah.
but um, why is Trump trying to explain to these kids at the Easter egg roll? You should. Did you see the kids?
Yeah. They
Kids
looking
look
at him
like what are you talking?
what are you talking about?
Where are the eggs?
Yeah.
Man,
Where the toys at, man? You talking about wars and presidents, and they don't even know what you're talking about, man.
yeah, man.
But that goes to show you, Trump. Trump is not good with kids. So I wonder who really raised his kids.
Well, that and I just don't know. It was like Sunday. I was getting ready to go into crucifixion,
Right,
with
with the kids,
the
like, they
kids,
don't
and they
even
looking
know.
at it like what? So I'm going like maybe this has to be kind of what is like you purate it in a way where kids can kind of understand it. Because when I got to thinking about, because any kid who sat through Good Friday service and the brutality.
The 7 words.
Oh man, my God, man, you just think, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, where people get up and physically talk about where Jesus was on that cross, and I'm thinking, oh, this is R-rated in terms of the yeah, but he's explaining to the kids about the auto pen, and
Like, they don't even know
and the
what you're talking
kids were
about.
looking like what. Like, dude, we here for an Easter egg roll,
And they can care less about a pen. They can care less about a pen because they don't even understand half of the stuff that's going on.
Right. Well, it's like back in the day, I'd be at a party. They're starving in Biafra. Like, dude's like, dude, this a party. Dude,
Right.
you hear flashlight?
Right. You better dance.
You up here talking about Biafra? Man, so I don't know. Like people say, read the room. But this dude is so, and all these whispers now about possibly invoking the 25th Amendment.
Yeah, but why would they talk about it now after all of the destruction this cat have done? Why would you wait for this long?
Good question.
Like, it makes no sense because, first of all, and what people are not talking about is this Project 2025 that came out way before he even hit office. And some of the stuff that was in this Project 2025 that people are ignoring, that people were ignoring, that's happening now.
Yep.
So why would you try to invoke the 25th when you should have did it before, like way before this, like way before people have died, way before, like you have the Army, the Navy, and the Marine in position to tear up something for nothing, all because you want the oil. So you put their lives in danger for something you want, and then you say yesterday that the people of Iran is telling you to keep bombing the same place where they live at. People are dying and they tell you, hey, don't stop bombing where we live at. We love it. Keep bombing. What?
He really, when he leaves office, maybe return to his alma mater, University of Pennsylvania, and teach a whole course on how to lie.
Doc, I mean, look you in your face and tell you the sky is not blue.
Right.
It is really yellow.
And you're going, wow.
Like,
okay.
I know what I see.
I just had an eye exam.
Right. I know what I see.
You know, man, I went in for an eye exam. You know, when they dilate your pupils, that hurts.
Doc, listen. And then afterwards, when you got to leave, it's like the light and then you're like.
I was fortunate it was a cloudy day.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. The sun would have been, that hurt.
Doc, I had to wear these glasses.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, when I went and got my eye checked out a few weeks ago, and I'm like, man, yeah, that dude, they put that stuff in, and you sit there looking like, is you is, is you ain't.
Yeah, but I was fortunate because when I came out, it was raining.
Yeah, you was lucky.
Cloud, I was lucky, man, but it was still hurting.
So just imagine if the sun was out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think people should, you know, one of the things eye health, you know, we'll have Julie and Brenda here today, but really talk about that. And I'd be in, you know, I'd be working the groups and dudes be squinting like, dude, you need glasses, man. You know, and I understand vanity. You know, I didn't wear glasses until I was good and grown because when I was little, I lost a pair. My mother never replaced them. Yeah. So, you know, I'm walking through life blind.
Blind as a fool.
I'm blind.
Can you see? He petting raccoons, calling them cats.
Right. So let me say this about Will Ferrell. Boy, I bet you the disabled folks really go after him, man. Yeah. You know, in Talladega Nights where he was paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair, but he's really not paralyzed. Anchorman 2, he loses his eye. I'm blind. Yeah, man. But yeah, go and get your eyes checked, man. Yeah, that's, you know, because if you're dealing with headaches, and a lot of times it's just the strain that you're putting on your eyes. And I didn't realize, man, God, I don't even know how I passed driving tests without glasses. But you know, you're fortunate now that the blind is not out there trying to drive. You know, what was it, the Eddie Murphy joke when he was riding with Stevie Wonder, and Stevie Wonder act like he can see. He said, well, he started to Stevie Wonder, said, you want to impress me, take the wheel. See, you know, because and Stevie Wonder is dealt with his blindness in such a way where, you know, he can poke fun at himself when he hosted Saturday Night Live back in the day. There's a thing where for Canon, like the cameras, and he's out playing tennis. He's missing the ball. He's blind. You know, he's not gonna be able to see the ball, but you know, he's normal. Right. You know, just like everybody else is kind of going. So people are able to do that. Let me say this about Freighted Hospital. They incorporate differently abled people out there in terms of working there. And you see that usually people in wheelchairs and you know, so that's impressive. That's impressive where, you know, it's incorporated into what is into. See what else is happening here. Okay. Planet Fitness. We're all strong. Oh man, got a caller. Right. Caller, welcome to the program. Hello.
Hey, Q.
Good morning.
Sorry, man. I'm trying to watch you and calling at the same time. Can you hear me good?
Yes.
Okay, because I got the speaker. See, I got out of that eye thing and tried driving. It was one of the most serious things I did in my life. I had to pull over in the McDonald's parking lot and get a spot. Yeah. When they dilate your eyes, you better have somebody hit you that can drive.
Yeah. It hurt, man, for about an hour. Not hurt, but you know, it felt discomfort. Irritating. But
I can't remember if that happened to me, if it hurt or not. I remember I couldn't see.
Yeah, and then you know, she told me that, you know, all of us will develop cataracts.
Yeah. And that's what they told me.
Yeah. You know, that's
But they
another.
said I probably send me to a specialist. But he said I probably don't need any operation stuff for another about 10 years. That's what he told me.
Yeah. You know, so
But you know, Keith, I asked you if you'd be watching 60 Minutes, or something I do routinely every Sunday. It made me start crying this Sunday because you know the ordeal I just went through. And I told Brenda, thank God we got health insurance. Because the little amount I had to pay when look at the bill with his radiation and the biopsy and all the stuff I went to see, it will blow your mind. And they had on there these free clinics that this one white guy started, I think back in the 80s. Some British guy. How people were lined up for 4 days just to try and get in and see the doctor for teeth, you name it, all kind of exams. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, this guy don't have a problem with people dying. And it's just, when I hear people like Beach and people like that calling it on the show and still defend this guy, you should have heard him this morning with Michelle. It's just like how you get on with you and stuff. And it's just like, this dude don't care about human life at all. And I'm thinking the funding he cut that goes overseas, like the Africa and stuff like that, they help the people out over there.
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle was supposed to do she said she was going to do a research on it and come back on how many people have died for lack of the money that he said that went over there. This dude has no conscience. And I think I walked in the room when it first came on. I think, were you talking about a speech he did at the White House for Easter? Were you talking about that?
No, I was talking about the conversation he was having with the kids about the auto pen.
Well, that's the same day Easter, but he started off on the balcony.
Right.
And so it's just like you guys were saying, but they had the nerve to be talking about Joe Biden. It's just like anything that ever comes out of his mouth when he talks about the other person is exactly like him calling them the Biden crime family, which they're the biggest crooks in the world. I don't get it, Keith. I know me and you used to kind of go back and forth when you say, "Look, we're not going to worry about the little 5 or 10% that he's picking off." But Keith, it made a difference. It made a big difference. That's how he got off, because he claims he won by a landslide. He didn't win by a landslide, but he picked off just enough people to get in there. And I'm hoping that, I don't know about you, I got my ballots on a Friday. They was in the mail by Monday. So you won't see my numbers at the polling places when you say, well, I went in there, I was number 3 or stuff like that, because I voted today.
Did you check?
I already voted.
Did you check my vote to see if they received your ballot?
No, I didn't. That's another reason I was calling you guys to see if y'all put that number on the air so that we can check it.
Yeah, well, you can go to, like, that be on the website. Go to my vote. I voted over at early voted, well, Dropbox at Atkinson Library. I was telling Michelle, because she'd asked me how to vote, and I said, yeah, voted about a week and a half ago. But I was over there mad because I get there the Monday before early voting starts. I thought it had started already. And I was cussing out the Dropbox because it wouldn't let me leave my ballot.
Really?
Yeah, and then I walked across the street and I drove across, and I went, oh, it starts tomorrow. So I'd come back and then put it back in the next day. So I put it in the first.
Even though you can drop it in the regular mailbox or take it down to the post office, you can't put it in those
I did. I used the Dropbox.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. I've never put it in the Dropbox.
I use the Dropbox because I'm not trusting the mail. And they've already been sending indicators out that, if you do a mail-in ballot, it may or may not get returned in time to be counted. And that most of the Supreme Court decisions have been that, it has to be received the day of the vote. And so, yeah, I don't take any chances on it. I just take it to the Dropbox.
Well, and keep. The reason why I didn't do it in one of those boxes, I was so scared somebody gonna set it on fire or something to be spiteful.
Yeah, I think they showed how secure those boxes are, and that was one of the things that Republicans were using as a ruse to be able to say, we shouldn't be doing mail-in voting, but these boxes are more secure than the post boxes. So,
And I know we all got our opinions about our callers and people that text in. I like watching you guys on TV now, but the text that or post that people were, when they put it on when you can watch it on your phone, you guys used to run them across the screen on TV. Why you guys stopped doing that?
doing what?
Like if you're on your phone on YouTube watching you guys, how you can leave your comments and stuff.
Yeah.
You used to could watch it come up on the TV screen.
Oh.
And now I see you guys not doing that anymore. Is that any particular reason why you guys don't do that anymore when you can run it across what people are posting on the TV screen?
Yeah, Debo. He stepped out. When Debo comes in, he'll post it.
Okay, because I like watching the comments. Because I like watching you guys on TV.
I can explain to George why, and there may be other listeners who are curious to that fact as well. Viewers, I call them viewers because they watch. We found that when we're making the clips for YouTube and the clips that we send out on Facebook or what have you, when we put the listeners' comments up, it impacts the ability to see because it transcribes the words. So it just doesn't work well with the other. So the person who puts those clips together has asked that we not do it.
Oh, okay. So so you only can see it when you do it on your phone, then, huh?
Correct.
Okay.
Can we see it?
Yeah, Keith, I can let you see it.
Oh, okay.
It'll be right.
Y'all don't read them.
Yeah, we do. I saw yours this morning. I saw yours this morning when you was talking about Jermaine and Angela sitting in the tree.
Yeah, because I was trying to be funny and y'all didn't read it.
Yeah, because I didn't know nothing about that one, Debo. So
I didn't post it. He the one.
I didn't know that one about that one, man.
Yeah, George said you and Angela were sitting in the tree. KISSING.
See, come on, George.
Jack and Jill went up the hill.
Fetch a pail of water.
And when she called in today, I couldn't help myself.
Man,
there's a comment there about Election Central. We're not doing that today either. It is something we would do for the larger scale elections, but there's not really enough candidates, and a lot of people are running uncontended. I'm
gonna get off with this one. I hope people have had enough to get up off their butts and go out and vote. Because anybody, when you hear this should be an automatic. If Meech is supporting somebody, you got to do the opposite. All right, y'all. Thanks.
All right, appreciate you. Yeah, and I, just from the political science perspective, this election was not going to be a big election, just because it's almost like it's an off year. But I think when we voted last time for Supreme Court, the balance of the court was on. I don't know if this is going to move the needle because the person who's retiring is considered conservative. So it would give, I don't know if it's the supermajority for liberals if Judge Taylor wins. But not Taylor. Yeah, Chris Taylor, right?
Yeah, Chris Taylor.
Yeah. Two Judge Taylors. But I'm not surprised at the turnout. I think people look at it a little bit differently. I will be watching what happens in August, because August is the primary for the general in November. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Keith.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Hope you're the same. You and Jermaine and Devo.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, this is an ironic thing, and I just wanted your opinion on this. How ironic is it that an adjudicated sexual assaulter, a 34-time convicted felon, can fire the Attorney General of the United States? How ironic is that?
And what did he fire her for?
no matter the fact that he can fire the attorney general,
They
the
said that he
person that's
didn't,
supposed to enforce the laws of the country.
he didn't like the way she handled the Epstein files.
Yeah, but aside from that, I'm just talking about the irony of it. Here he is, the biggest criminal America has ever known, and he fires the criminal fighter.
Well, if nothing else, if you don't get anything else from his two administrations, you'll understand deflection, you'll understand hypocrisy, you'll understand projection, all of these things, until the point where, you know, there is no, what was it? The Boy That Cried Wolf? Is that one of Aesop's tales? And
Aesop's fables.
yeah, and this idea that, you know, you just can't trust anything that comes out his mouth. And that's unfortunate because that has real consequences, right?
Yeah.
So no, I mean, whether he did it or not, his view of the Department of Justice is that they're his personal lawyers. You know, one of the things that they ran on was lawfare. You know, where the Biden administration had used the Justice Department to go after people unjustly, primarily him.
Yeah.
And then what does he turn around and do? The very thing that he accused the Democrats of doing.
Yeah, and they accused Biden's family of profiting off of, you know,
And
the
they
federal
did.
government, and
Yeah,
then
I
he
mean,
turns around
Hunter
and
Biden did.
gives his kids $1 billion contract with China.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
I try to understand it, but there's a story. If I can, there you go, DJ. There's a story. I remember coming home from work one day, and I walked in the house, and as soon as I hit the door, I get this smell. Right, and man, this is tough. So, you know, just check the sink. No, it wasn't the sink. Obviously, it wasn't the refrigerator. It wasn't open. Wasn't anything out. And as I'm walking through the house and going up the stairs, the stench is just getting stronger and stronger. So get to the room, and Rhonda and Cameron and Caitlin, they're very little. Cameron's still in diapers, and it's like, wow, this smell. So I walk in the room and I go, Rhonda, do you smell this? And she go, no, not really. And then I said, ooh, you might want to check Cameron. Cameron had one of those Hiroshima, just one of those real one of those atomic. and then she smelled it. She almost gagged. That's how bad it was. Here's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you're in your own stuff, you don't smell it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you everybody else might smell it.
I didn't know where you were going with that story, but I'm glad you polished it up the way you did.
Well, what do you think about?
Did it make sense?
It did, but I thought you was. Never mind. I thought you were going to say something about Rhonda.
No. I was just saying, all of us that you go around and you don't know, and when you don't know how you smelling, but everybody else do. That's the problem, and I think that's
smell it because you
in it
there with it.
Yeah, you with it.
Yeah, you're too close to it.
Used to it.
You can't see the forest for the trees.
There you go. And so, you know, and that's being really kind to what he's doing. And man, I mean, he just, I know he must be driving these white evangelicals crazy with all the bad language that he uses. Because then in the presser, he used BS twice.
Yeah,
he didn't say BS.
What do you think about that? What is that mega white lady that's got the church with all the upper middle class blacks giving her millions of dollars a year?
Paula White
saying that Trump is God. And so I looked into that, and I went undercover as jrideout.com, and I sent her an email. And I asked her, I said, did you get the vision of him as God when he grabbed you by the...
Well, that's a whole theological discussion that we won't be able to get into today. But that's the problem when we go in and we deify people, only to find out they are not God. So, I mean, I think people can say anything. I mean, Pete Hessek saying that the rescue was like the resurrection. Come on, man, really?
But,
You
but let me
know,
ask you this: why are so many black people attracted to her? You know, these
oh,
are well-to-do black
she could
people.
preach a little bit. She could preach a little bit. Back in the day, I'm trying to remember the brother who OD'd, and she ended up taking over his church. But yeah, she had Anyway, let me do this. Got to go because
Okay.
it's
All right.
Tuesday. Be healthy, be you. You're listening to Community Voice. Did I say good morning to you, brothers?
No, but we good though.
That's nothing unusual. Yeah.
We all right.
Good morning,
Good
Keith.
morning.
Good morning.
You're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
to rejoin when we come back.
What
We
did he
live.
say? All the way live.
All the way live.
That was one of the crackish groups. That Lakeside, that's one of the
I
crackish
love
groups.
Lakeside.
Man, they look so crackish. I'm just going like,
They
these
did.
dudes can still fit in their middle school gym suits, right? I mean, they crackish. Well,
That was
welcome
some good
back.
dancing music, though.
Oh, yeah, they did great
Mhm.
music.
All the way down.
But it's first Tuesday of the month. Be healthy, be you. Miss Julia Means, Miss Brenda Buchanan, welcome back.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Julia's
everyone.
all
I know,
tan.
you can tell she's been relaxed.
Yeah, that tan. I want a tan.
Hair's all beautiful.
You two can get a tan.
I'm loving what
I know, right?
Wait a minute.
I'm like, where you?
Where you go?
Puerto Rico.
You went to Puerto Rico?
Mm-hmm. San Juan.
San Juan.
That's that say it right.
Wow,
San
you
Juan.
got a glow on you.
I know she looks
she
gorgeous,
does. She looks
doesn't she?
beautiful.
She do a
did
photo shoot.
use sunscreen,
Good.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
but the sun is more direct there,
Mhm, mhm.
so it doesn't take much.
Not as human.
It's not humid at all.
Not as human.
You got a man?
He didn't go to Puerto Rico though.
His name
At
is
least I
Jesus.
don't think so.
No,
What's your number?
no, his name is Mr. Bean. You got a man.
She
See?
said,
Yeah.
And you got enough problems. People running up.
That's right.
I was listening to the radio the other
Yeah.
day. And I was
All
like,
kind of
I
stalkers
don't
out
know
there.
what's going on.
You be starting.
They-
I ain't said nothing.
at the church.
Yeah.
At the church.
Came up to that. Listen, man, I showed up at the Easter bash to serve the Lord.
Mhm.
And I walked in through the door, and the lady pulled me. I don't know who she is. She pulled me aside and said, "Is your name right up?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Your girlfriend here." I said, "What? Who? Who's my girlfriend?" Angela. Oh man, I almost screamed in the middle. Oh my God.
And you just came to serve the Lord.
I just came to say the Lord. Hey man, God bless you.
Devil always present, man.
Always. I try to do right, wrong, follow.
At the door.
At the door, at the door.
Yeah, she was the usher.
I'm like, how you know? I listen every day.
There's all out in the
I
street,
see
boy.
your main girlfriend here. Is he coming? Yeah, he coming. He'll be here.
Come on, man, you make it worse.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, I heard it. I heard it with my own ears.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, so welcome back. Man, a couple of things. Is this National Minority Health Month?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Booker T.
Booker T and the MGs? Yeah, we own music.
Yeah.
Booker T Washington.
He started it.
Did he?
Mhm. Yep, way back in 1915.
Wow.
And it was only a week.
Okay.
But
That's
it's
what
a
Black
month.
History Month started off as a week.
Yeah. It's a month though now.
Okay.
And and he said something that was very profound. He said a lot of things that was very profound. But he said no matter how intelligent or how much money or whatever you have that you consider to make you the best, if you don't have good health,
It don't matter.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It don't matter. I was saying this to my mom, and and Rhonda and I, we discussed it. It makes a difference when you have health insurance,
It
Oh
does.
my gosh.
and
Yes.
especially as you get older, to be able to have health insurance, be able to deal with those needs. But health is so important. I shouted him out yesterday. I'm gonna shout him out today. My mom was at Freighter, and her nurse Shane was
Oh.
incredible. He was incredible. And I don't know if she's in a unit where they deal with the elderly,
Mhm.
but that geriatric care it's
Requires a lot of patience.
Mhm.
right a lot. And he was, I mean, for when he got in, because she wasn't always cooperative,
Mhm.
but with him,
She was.
yeah.
You think because he was a man?
But you know what? They had asked her in a prior situation, would she want a male nurse, and she said no. But I think from when he got there, and even let me shout out, because everybody talks about Bell Ambulance, even the people at Bell Ambulance who did the transport, very good, very patient. So it you see that, and I told him, I said, you should be teaching. He said, well, I'm thinking about that. I said, well, you should, because I think that bedside manner is as important as the actual care that you get.
It is.
Mhm.
People already, you're already in a state of mind. And then when you're 91, things that most of us that's not the case
Correct.
with older people. And so, the patience that you have to have with them. And then, certainly the family, the patience that you have to have. But no, let me shout him out. He was good. My mother's funny though. When you sit there thinking that she's not paying attention, she really is.
She hears
Mhm.
every word.
She hears every word. And I know when, because she's been dealing with her diabetes. And so we had to start giving her shots. And we hadn't done that in a while. And then it was once a week. So I was kind of struggling. And she said, they showed you how to do it. And I'm thinking, I thought you were asleep. She paid attention. It's when we talk about health, but it's also a question, not just of morbidity, but it's also a question of mortality.
Mhm.
And when you think about these things where it's a reminder that, our existence in this form is finite, and things will happen that will kind of remind you that,
Mhm.
people are dying. And I think one of the things in the actuary where we like to believe that it's just old folks, everybody's dying. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what the age is. So as much as we can, I appreciate it. This, I think it's the 90th Psalms. Lord, help us to number our days that we might apply wisdom to our hearts. In other words, let's be mindful of the
Mhm.
things that's going on, because, man, I looked up one day and I was this age.
Yeah.
That's how
Mhm.
you get there. It's like every day, and some days it might be, depending on what you're dealing with, but you got to that. And then I think about, sitting there and I look at my mom. I mean, it's one of those things where I just not just look at her, also look like, dude, that means you're getting older,
Mhm.
So live your life, be healthy, and be you.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's so true. And primary care and your annual visits to your specialists that you have to go to is necessary, because things could be going on in your body that you have no clue that's going on. You have no symptoms, you have no pain, but them doing their regular checkups, they can find it, and then they find it in the early stage.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well,
Or
that's
treat it before it becomes, before it starts causing other problems in your body.
And I think, I'm going back and forth now with my healthcare provider. They bring you in for your wellness,
Hmm.
and then I get a bill. So what? I just came in for wellness. Said he must have talked to you about something else. He didn't talk to me about anything else.
So he coded it wrong.
Yeah, well, we've been going back and forth. Finally,
What kind of bill? You shouldn't get a bill.
Well, but if you talk about something
other than
than
that
that,
wellness,
then they code that and you get billed for that part. But if he's saying you didn't, then he just coded it wrong. He had to have coded it wrong.
and the only thing that came up was I was telling him how long it takes for me to get a refill on my blood pressure medication.
That's not a health issue.
I was like, so I'm going back and forth with the folks. Finally, United Healthcare got involved. The woman said, well, and let me shout her out, Sky. That's her code name because they don't give out their real names. But she was real good. Like, no, he shouldn't. And then she kept saying to me, well, you won't. So I'll just have to see if it's been removed from the bill. But he did the same thing he did last year, 2 years ago. We did the wellness piece. So we'll see. That's the other problem with healthcare, that you might have to go and dispute bills. So
Yeah, because you got United. I know you got good insurance, and you shouldn't have to pay for it, but a deductible
right.
For any visits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And so let's so things that we can do around good health, obviously diet,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
movement.
Mm-hmm.
What about our state of mind?
That's so important.
That controls everything else. That affects everything else.
And our spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
because that helps you control your mind.
It should.
Mm-hmm. Better go pray about it. So if I don't go sit down and pray, I'm gonna hurt somebody. That's true. She ain't never lied.
I was telling them yesterday, my mother used to say, I'm about to lose what little religion I got.
But studies even show people who nurture their spirituality, whether you believe it's God and you're a Christian or whatever, they do better.
Yeah, they talk to sleep better.
Mm-hmm.
But and then there are things where certain religions, part of your health is the dietary code.
Yes.
Right. In terms
Mm-hmm.
of what you eat. And I was reading a little bit about why this emphasis on the prohibition of pork in Judaism. And even the ancient scholars, the scholars who studied this were saying, well, we don't. He said it could have been, what is it, trichinosis?
Trichinosis, yeah.
Right. And they talked about that could have been that people were
Mm-hmm.
getting sick. Medicine is observation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then you go like, it must be. And then they said because of how the pigs eat,
Mm-hmm.
right? They roll in the dirt. Now people don't realize because they don't have sweat glands. That's why they're rolling in the mud, because it just cools them. It cools them. So, it was saying, so they were saying, it's kind of one of those things like, we don't know. I think now, then they said that, their ability to be able to store it was very different. And so
yeah, they didn't have this refrigeration that we have nowadays.
Right. It talked about dairy products. I mean, there was a lot like now catfish are now most of that's farm raised, but they were bottom
feeders. Yeah.
So there was a lot that went into probably those dietary codes, but the health component of it, I think, was the primary reason for people doing it, and their understanding of whatever the medical science was at that point. I asked a question. I said, so on Resurrection Sunday, how many of us eating pork? And Jesus,
Easter ham,
right? Jesus was a Jew, the Easter ham. Oh man. But I think it's so we talk about our mindset, how we look at our health. Now there's some people, no matter what, they go into the doctor. They're whatever their health insurance, they're taking full advantage of it. What is it that you think people might be resistant? One of the reasons why people are resistant necessarily to going in for just wellness checkups.
Well, I think sometimes it's fear. If I go, they're going to take these labs, they're going to find something, so there's some fear. And there's also people, whether they're tricking themselves or not. I feel good. I don't need to go in and, ain't nothing wrong with me. I know people that are intelligent people who go in and get their labs and say, I ain't doing that. I ain't taking no meds, whereas when we were talking earlier about finding things early, hypertension's an easy one, right? You treat it, you have less risk of having a heart attack or stroke or, kidney disease, that sort of stuff. If you don't treat it, then those are the things that you're headed towards, so finding it early and treating it. But a lot of people, they just don't want to deal with all of that.
Well, and sometimes we consider ourselves being so busy.
Yeah,
I ain't got time to go to the doctor. I got to do this. I got to do that. And you have to make time for your health. You have to make time. And so you have to keep those appointments. Don't miss your appointments. And some of them are just annually anyway. So just keep it. And because when you know better, you should do better.
Preacher, help us. Help us.
And sometimes even just nutrition, things like that. Your doctor can do some labs and say, oh, your vitamin D is low. Maybe we need to get some vitamin D, your vitamin B levels, maybe eat more of that. And you learn more about that. Some people don't want to take meds, but maybe they can eat more of certain foods that might benefit them. But if you don't go, those deficiencies can cause problems.
What about things like stress and trauma, the impact it has on our health?
I always say trauma, if you don't deal with it, it's going to manifest itself at some point in your life. Whether it was 20, 30 years ago, it is going to affect your health because that memory is there. Stress hormones that do damage to the body, but we just, we can't. A lot of times we don't even know we have trauma. I should say that first, right? This is how you grew up. This is what happened. That was just kind of normalized. You didn't think of it as trauma, but later in life, you'll probably figure out.
So what about, just going, talking to someone, seeing a therapist? Is that a good thing?
We need one on every corner.
Mm-hmm.
We
do just walk
we
right
need
in.
Psych help on every corner, in every church, bar, and restaurant. We need somebody to help us because we got people killing people because they angry.
Yeah.
And angry for a moment, not about anything big.
And it's their sister, brother, mother. Come on now.
The first homicide was a fratricide, right? Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Jealousy. But now we should know better.
Well, I don't know. We talk about trauma. We were talking about yesterday Easter speeches and how many kids are so traumatized because with their first big moment, that big star moment. Oh, I'm pulling my head down too. I'm one of them. When that big star moment, and then they get up, and old school, you used to have to memorize the speech.
Oh yeah, I had to.
There was some debate now about whether or not we should allow the kids to read it. Yeah, I think because good public reading is a great performance too. But there's some who forget their lines, and can you imagine having to do an Easter speech when I was growing up in Metropolitan where, there's at least 500 people there.
Oh, Easter Sunday is packed.
Yeah. I mean,
other day.
That's right. Easter is packed.
Christmas, Easter, and Mother's Day. You're going to have a pack house.
Mother's Day.
I do remember the first time I had to say my Easter speech. I remember I had my beautiful little dress on and I was stressed for weeks knowing that I had to do that. And then the day came and you're seeing all those people. And I was little. I was pretty little when I had to do that. And I didn't go up there in a group, like I had to go up there by myself. And then you'd come sit down and the next kid would go up. And I know, and everybody's, come on now, baby, come on. And I was terrified. I mean, I did it, but I don't know if anybody could hear it.
Oh, Jesus. He was dead just like he said. Happy Easter.
And you're sitting there and you're moving, you're anything.
Don't be offended by this. But see, you're cute. So you get all kind of passes. Right. You get all kind of going up there. You get all kind of passes. Now, me on the other hand, it was. Now, and I was telling Jay because Jay told his moment. My and you know what, Jay? Based on that, I'm gonna transform my pain. My little speech was post-resurrection. Okay. 2 strangers on the Emmaus Road.
Yeah.
All I had to do was that one line, and then and to this day I don't know what that line. All I know is they didn't get anything at all. And after that, could never get me to do another speech. Never. It was like, it just messed me up. So, but the trauma.
It seriously.
So every
was
failed
trauma.
relationship, what happened? You remember that Easter speech?
That's what did it.
It was the Easter speech.
Well, and parents were cruel because if you did good, your mother was really proud of you. If you didn't, it didn't go well when you got home.
Oh man. Oh,
Made a
man.
fool of me up there.
Oh man.
Oh, it was not good.
Yeah. About a mother's love. Wait till I get
Everybody knew when those lips got tight. And they were almost,
Say it right.
yeah, you knew you were in trouble. Like, uh-oh.
Or you see the mothers out there mouthing the words for you, and you still can't get it. What you say, mama?
Go on, get on over here.
It's true. You didn't have to go through all that.
You remember all those rap lyrics?
Right.
Oh, you had no problem up there doing Tupac. You're listening to Community Voice. It's Be Inside, Be Healthy, Be You. This is Julie Means, was Brenda Buchanan. Welcome back. Appreciate you. The phone lines are open. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
106.5 FM.
When I was in high school, Julia, Richard Nixon, he was, before I got to high school, he was making his comeback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had that, what was it? Sun, tanned, and ready. And that's what when I'm looking at you, sun, tan.
I know she looks so pretty, doesn't she?
Oh,
Her hair is
man.
perfect.
Oh.
That nice tan, that pink color just pops. Yeah,
What are y'all saying she looked like before?
Julia always looks
Mm.
good, but today she's just got a
Don't pay
whole
Debo no
different
mind.
look.
What did we say when he was out the
Okay,
room?
Debo.
Satan meets you at the door.
Yeah.
Caller, welcome to the
Don't
program.
pay Debo no mind, boy.
Good morning.
That boy is something else.
Good morning, man. Go ahead and let you get your laugh through there, man. Good morning, and again, good morning, Keith. Good morning, Debo. Again, good morning, Right Out again, Milwaukee. Good morning, ladies.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
All right, good to hear that you're back. It's only every 30 days now, so
I know.
as soon as I get in with you here, I'm dashing out the door like a greyhound to vote. Then so. But you got a busy day today at the dinner table there. You can talk about you was on the air. You can talk about you voted and everything in between. Huh?
Yeah.
So that's good. Tyrone W. speaking for those that don't know. But anyway.
We'll care.
All right. I got one for you. The
You stuck
latest
one
day.
in on you.
Okay. All right. I got one for you there. All right. I got one for you, but not today. I got one for you, man. All right. But anyway, I wanted to talk iron and liver again, if I could, for a couple minutes, because I know the commercials. I remember the doctors would, well, I don't know, doctors, pharmacists, whatever, especially for the females, to eat a lot of iron for, during their menstrual cycles there to replenish some of that. But I mean, even when I was lifting weights there, I mean, my dad introduced it to me, but I had to doctor it up with like, oh man, mashed potatoes and gravy and barbecue sauce, all that
You
stuff.
talking about liver?
Yeah, liver.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Brenda, tell them about.
But
liver.
hold on a second. Let me finish. Just to
shouldn't
get
eat
that kind of wild taste out of it, I had to doctor it up there just to get it down, because it kind of had that off rabbit, maybe deer-like wild taste to it there. But now, long story short, there, not to suck all the out the show, isn't there whatever the liver filters? And this is what I wanted to get from you, the both of you. What is that filtering? And even though it's got that iron in there, it's still flesh. What kind of impurities still may be in that? If it's urine or fecal, whatever it's filtering, the iron is there. But what else are we eating other than the iron and whatever it's filtering? And I'll listen to you over the air. Thank you. Talk to you in 30 days. Don't forget to vote.
All right. But real quick, didn't you say that it doesn't really give us the iron that we need, right?
Well, no, it has some iron in it, but it's not a healthy meat to eat.
Okay.
It's not healthy at all.
Okay.
We discourage people to eat any kind of organ meats because they're just not healthy for you. But
Did hospitals used to serve liver?
yes, and a lot of people ate liver because it was cheap,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, right.
But no, I'm saving my money for something else. I'm not eating liver.
Well, my grandmother, as Tyrone was saying, my grandmother could go in and doctor up liver, but it was still liver.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It was still liver.
Mhm.
And onions, they did all
Yeah,
kind of
put all that
things.
stuff on
Yeah.
it, but it was still liver.
And occasionally you still see it at some restaurants. But, fish and chicken have a tremendous amount of protein and iron in them. Women do need extra iron just because we do lose, for a period of time in our lives, we lose blood, which includes iron on a monthly basis.
And that's based
So
on
that's
your
why
menstrual
we
cycle.
have, right. So that's why, usually your iron levels go down for a few reasons. One, you're not getting enough iron in your body. Or you're losing iron, or your body's destroying the iron or red blood cells, or but if you eat a healthy diet, you're probably getting enough iron. There are some people that from a health standpoint aren't getting it, and there are people that need transfusions, any kind of bleeding. When we see a person's iron levels are low or their hemoglobin is low, we look for, are they bleeding? That's one of the first things you look for. Are they bleeding somewhere? And if they're not, then you're looking at other things too. But liver is not a recommended
No, it's
meat
high
to
in
eat.
cholesterol.
Yeah, very
It's
high in
terrible
cholesterol.
in cholesterol.
And that grainy. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not
It's
good
just-
for you.
What
Mm-mm.
about cod liver oil?
Hey, I grew up getting a tablespoon of cod liver oil every day, and it didn't come in pill form. Once October hit, every morning before I left and went to school, I had to take a whole tablespoon of that.
Any medicinal value?
It is. I mean, it's it's a healthy oil. There are other ones that people still do cod liver oil. They make it in pill form now. You talk about getting your amino acids in, and or fish oil. Different, like it's a fish oil is what it is.
Mm,
I gave blood about a month ago,
good for you.
and they're really excited about my blood. So
Really?
yeah, because I guess you can do your normal blood,
Mm-hmm.
but then because my blood is so iron rich, they're going and they can separate it.
Yeah,
so,
they can do just platelets.
Yeah, so
mhm.
when I go back in April,
They're gonna-
yeah,
Here he is.
Oh, good for
yeah,
you.
man,
What type are you?
you know what? I never.
They'll tell you.
It's on your card. Do you have a card? It should be on there.
No,
Oh, okay.
But you know,
red.
yes,
You're red? Good. That's a good place to start, Keith.
It only turns red when it has oxygen.
Red is
correct?
good.
yeah. African Americans, we have to make sure we know if you have any type of sickle cell trait or in your family or disease in your family, because a lot of times the sickle cell trait people, their iron
Mhm.
and they'll be low, and go, I don't know why, but I'm always low, and they might pass out and different things like that. But you need to know that. Remember that young man that died in the back of that police car?
Yeah.
He had the
Yes.
trait,
Yeah.
and he went into
He's
a
sickled.
crisis
Mhm.
and died. So you never know. You need to. There are a lot of blood dyscrasias.
But here's the crazy piece about all of this: when people would die at the hands of police, they would go in once they got the blood work back, and they
Mhm.
saw that there was a sickle cell trait. Said he died from sickle
Yeah.
cell.
Mhm.
No, he died from the 5 shots.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, so when you said that, that's what I immediately got to thinking about how people.
There's another reason that you need to know also. My daughter called me one day and she said, Dad, do you have sickle cell trait? Is it in the family anywhere? I was like, yeah, I have it. So subsequently, her boyfriend, who she was dating, had the trait. The two of them made full sickle cell with my granddaughter.
So she had the trait too.
Right. So
And that why we
That's
used-
really important, and we do try. That's one of those benefits of if you're planning a pregnancy, your doctors
I was gonna ask you about
can ask that, look for that, and help you determine whether and give you at least what the odds are. But so many of our people, they don't even process, they don't even think about that.
But we don't do blood tests anymore when people get married.
Yeah, when I
No.
got married, they test you for everything.
So it was venereal disease. It was
Sickle
also
cell.
sickle cell,
Mhm.
and then relationship.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
But we don't do blood tests
No.
anymore.
No,
And I think, and that was because I was kind of getting to that whole maternity health piece, and how important it is. I think even before, you tell me, is it important for women even before they have a pregnancy for them to go in and to see OBGYN?
Oh, you want to be healthy before you get pregnant. Sometimes that means almost all the time putting you on folate, maybe even a multivitamin, making sure your body is healthy and ready to carry a pregnancy. Pregnancy is stressful on your body.
Mhm.
And people say, well, we've been having babies for years. My mama didn't do this. Yeah, but so many women died. So many
Are
babies
dying.
died.
Mhm.
Yes, and more are. But they like you to plan at least a year in advance
Mhm.
so that your body's healthy, ready to carry a pregnancy. Because the other things is if your body, your baby, for lack of a better term, but it acts as a parasite inside you. So it's going to take it's going to zap your calcium. It's going to zap your iron. It's going to take what it needs to be able to grow into a baby and healthy, which is going to leave you depleted. So you need to be ready and healthy before you start. And that's why it's important to take those prenatal vitamins.
And as women are delaying having
Mhm.
children, and particularly Black women. Uh, we deal with a high maternal death rate
Mm-hmm.
when it relates to, and what that means is that the mom dies,
Mhm.
or she's having real complications
Mm-hmm.
that European women do not have.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember, we were dealing with the whole infant mortality thing. We were down at United Way, and there was a doctor who specialized in this. He was a white doctor. His wife had something like 5 kids, and they were saying how we should space them,
18 months.
18
but she
months.
didn't. She
Mhm.
didn't have any negative health outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then for Black women,
Mhm.
that was an issue, and
Mhm.
you would hear women, because I'm thinking that was not that she dealt, wasn't that Tanda's thing when she lost, didn't she
Mm-hmm.
lose a child,
Mm-hmm.
but the impact it had on her health
Mm-hmm.
and what it would then, and prior to that first pregnancy, but it's still have an impact on your body, right? Whether
Mhm.
that baby comes to term or not.
Oh, absolutely. Again, that baby is I mean, your body is preparing to carry a baby for 9 months. That baby is taking what it needs, even if it doesn't mature till, that full 9 months. You need to be healthy to carry a baby. It's hard. It's to have you healthy and the baby healthy at the end. The best thing that you can do is to be healthy prior to your pregnancy and maintain that. And a lot of the young ladies we work with don't go through their prenatal visits like they should. They miss those appointments because they're like, all they do is make me pee in a cup and take my blood pressure. But we learn so much about that. They're looking for, you know, are your kidneys working properly? Is your blood pressure elevated? Which we know number one cause of, maternal death is cardiovascular related. And so we get a lot from those short appointments. That just is another way that they can say you're still doing well. Your pregnancy, you're still fairly healthy, and your baby is. But without that, things can go downhill really quickly.
We just recently enacted a law here in Wisconsin now
Oh, thank
where Medicaid now is extended a year
Lord.
postpartum.
Mm-hmm.
Because maternal death can occur anywhere around birth up until a year after that baby gives birth. So they need that follow up care, not the 6 weeks or 3 months or whatever they were giving
And
them.
then not to mention then the postpartum depression that women will deal with, and we have a better understanding of that now, right?
Hmm. We do. And the differences between, we all knew about baby blues. Oh, for a couple of weeks you don't feel good, but you know, there's more complicated. There's depression. There's psychosis. All those things that can occur too.
Because you really kind of like here, up to delivery,
Mhm.
and then it's like,
Things can change quickly.
right. I mean that happens in terms of when we have real highs in our lives, and then you come down.
Hmm. Yeah, hormones change. Taking care of a baby is no joke, especially depending on how much support you have. Lack of sleep, anxiety, worried, you got this new baby. It's hard.
The first ones, that they, everything goes into it, right? You just wrap them in, saran wrap, make sure nothing happens to them. Time you get to the second one,
Third, fourth.
third, fourth one, we've been, but it also gets back to something that you always talk about, Julia, just how the body is a machine and how that body is used impacts on, and you have to maintain machines. I mean, it's just not like I bought my first car and didn't realize that you had to put oil in it.
Mhm.
They
And,
didn't tell you that, right?
Hey, you just saw it working out on the street,
right,
right?
it's
You didn't-
running down, right? But I think all those things that we think about what we put in, the fuel that we have in our bodies. I was going to ask, and this kind of an aside, you were talking about, what about, because we talked about in the past, anemia. What is I think Venus Williams was dealing with chronic fatigue syndrome.
Mhm.
What causes that?
Well, anemia does, and depression will. There are a lot of dietary deficiencies that would
Mhm.
cause it. And you just need to get that worked up and see.
Mm-hmm.
And you would
Sometimes
think,
it could be an easy fix.
yeah, you would think someone that, you know, the first time I ever saw medicine or nursing come out with this, I was like, whoa, we've come a long way. They said racism.
Mm-hmm.
Racism um, can cause a lot of issues with pregnancies when you have people that are working with our women that are not they're
Listening to them.
they're not listening to them, they're prejudging
Mm-hmm.
them, they already assume. And when I saw the medical people come out with
Mm-hmm.
this, I was like, boy, we've come a long way, because you have to look and see how many um, nurses or people that are dealing with pregnant women that understand them, care about them. That's one reason why I started Blanket, because the Bible say that the old women should teach the young women. And when I was newly married, and my mother-in-law she would tell me things, because I lived upstairs over my mother-in-law. She would tell me things that I just never even thought of. But the older women, so you got somebody that's going to sit you down and talk to you and teach you, not judge you or blame you, and you are excited to go back to that provider. You don't go, oh, they just gonna do this, and you're
Mm-hmm.
excited because they're gonna kind of support you, praise you, encourage you. And so a lot of it has to do with who's taking care of you and in who you have in your circle. I always ask the girls, who did you tell first when you were pregnant? Because that's your support person. For whatever reason, you went to that person. You saw that person as your support person. Bring them too, so we can teach them so that they can help you get through this pregnancy. It takes everybody to help that pregnant woman um, during that pregnancy. We need to support her. We need to encourage her. It's like a coach. Anyway, you're doing it right. Keep going. You can instead of saying, uh, a lot of the young ladies told me that they they get new residents, so
Yeah.
they
So you never
never
had the
get
same
the
person.
same doctor. They
Mm-hmm.
always got a new person seeing them. So then
Mm-hmm.
what they do, they start all over, they
Mm-hmm.
go through all of this, and that didn't help.
And they all have different personalities,
Yeah.
right? You might some that are very nurturing, and you really like that, and then all you've got to get somebody that's just matter of fact.
Mhm.
No, not, that's hard.
Mhm. So there is a lot into it. And I liked when we were having those with United Way, and we were doing all that. A lot of things came out, and Mayor was always there. He was always there. And a lot of information came out that had been hidden or looked over.
Right, and we it wasn't anything that they had did, but I'm trying to remember the group that brought Dr. Joy DeGruy here, and we talked about epigenetics, right? Something you
Mm-hmm.
just mentioned, and the impact of enslavement and
Mhm.
segregation and racism
Mhm.
on birth outcomes,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And people, we don't, it's when you think about enslaved women would have these children in these brutal environments, and
Mhm.
the only reason why you're having that child is to support this system of enslavement,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were some women who chose to kill their kids
Mhm.
as opposed to letting them.
Because you
Erased.
know
Be-
what life is in store for them,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and you especially. They might rip them away from you, send them somewhere else. They're going to be enslaved. You're not built. Look, like now we have, oh, my child's going to go to school. They're going to go to college. They're going to have this life. They're going to get married. They're going to have all these things. They didn't have those kind
Or
of
you have where there's a whole different thing where people just they don't understand the generational responsibility. I appreciate what you talked about, where older women, but that's our seed.
Mhm.
That's our future. And some people are so, for whatever reasons, so mired in their presence. It's not really about the future.
Mm.
You know, I mean, and that's real talk. If you're sitting up dealing with poverty, and as people go, well, we grew up poor. Let's go in and look. There's probably some other things that made you growing up and making me grow up poor, where I had a support system, where I had people who were forward looking and future looking, and but there are people who are born in environments where that is not the case. And try to get people to understand, especially the middle class, is that everybody ain't you. You know, and for whatever reasons, and you know, it has you question sometimes about these questions about, you know, loving God, but it really is the circumstances that you're born into.
Yes.
And I hate now. That doesn't mean that just because you're born in those circumstances, you have to remain. Right. But I'm just saying we cannot act as if they're not factors in people's behavior and how they respond to the world. You know, I listen to people, and I love when people call in and be talking about how we was raised, because there is a historical amnesia that you're missing. And now we always have to factor context of time, technology in terms of context of time. And here's what I'm saying with this. So people were killing their spouses when we were growing up, right? The difference is the means, no pun intended, that people have at their disposal. You know, people talk about, well, we're quick to use a gun. Well, back then we didn't have. Then it was quick to use a razor, quick to use a knife. You know, and if you had a gun, but now guns are everywhere. And so, I mean, but it's the same behavior. So even when we talk about, I was watching El DeBarge, and I went and looked at the DeBarge family.
Oh my God.
And the trauma, to watch. Right? I mean, just the trauma. And I forgot they did a movie, the Bobby DeBarge story, but the trauma that family experienced. So there's an understanding of the behavior. Now, it's like, you're making excuses. No, I'm saying that person who had to deal with that trauma, had to deal with that abuse, and then, and maybe, you know, I don't know how you have the talent, because if you look at talented people, a lot of times there's another side of that that people are dealing with. We were talking about Stevie Wonder, right? Stevie Wonder's great talent. He's also blind. You know, so yeah, we all have these issues that we're trying to work through, and either we submerge it, and if the good Lord has gotten us through it, then we should celebrate. But then I also think we have a responsibility then to make sure we're doing what we're doing now. That, you know, and I love what you said. You don't judge. You know, you correct. Learn how to correct without condemning.
Yes. I used to tell the girls, I don't want to know how you got it, the STDs. I don't want to know. I just want you to get rid of it.
And I love this, and thank you. That's a Jesus moment. Jesus never asked how you got it.
No.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when people came up with their missed diagnosis, saying that it was something that his family did, they come, no, it was nothing his family did. Basically, we just have blind people.
Yes, you're gonna have some blind.
Right, you're gonna have some blind folks, and so, but we immediately go in and like when I had my stroke, and my buddy. So, what was you doing? I was with an 8-year-old. What do you mean? What I was doing? I was having a stroke.
I don't remember.
Right. I'm too busy having a stroke.
Right. Part of my brain, maybe.
What were you experiencing? Stroke?
Yeah.
But I think we'd be mindful of that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Well, let me
rein it in.
So again, April is National Black Health Month. And also we will continue to deal with issues around Black maternal health and health equity and all those things. So I appreciate you all, man. We need to talk to somebody once a month, not enough.
Well, you know, Ebenezer is still doing. I do lunch and learns at least once a month, and we're still going. I'm at Calvary Baptist doing things, and I've been to other churches that have asked me to come and speak. So we may not be here, but we're in the community. And if you need us, let us know. We'll come.
All right.
Maybe a special occasion you want us to come. Have a new special occasion every month. No.
And if we have it regularly, does it become special?
Well, it would be a different special occasion every month. Right. A different special.
There's a lot of pressure to keep it special if you're doing it all the time. Let me thank Ms. Julie Means, Ms. Brenda Buchanan. Be healthy, be you. Ascension, Wisconsin. Thank you, ladies.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And as we said, today is election day here in the city. And we all have on the line with us Judge Chris Taylor. She's a candidate for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Good morning.
Good morning, Keith. Thanks so much for having me.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a gorgeous day, a great day to get out and vote.
Why is it so important that folks get out and vote? And then secondly, why should they get out and vote for you?
Well, first of all, this is the people's opportunity to choose their next Supreme Court justice. So this is democracy. The people get to choose. It is so important, I think, that people vote for me because I have spent my 30-year legal career as an attorney, as the law and policy director for Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin, as a legislator, and for the last 6 years as a judge, standing up and defending people's rights and freedoms, including the right to vote, standing up for our democracy and our elections, and making sure that we reject any unlawful overreach by the federal government into our state in an attempt to take our rights away, erode our elections, or obtain our private voting information. So I am someone who will be a justice for the people of Wisconsin.
I was, as you were speaking, I was, what does it mean when you hear this term, or does it have any meaning, where they're saying that judges are legislating from the bench?
Well, I think what it means is that judges, first of all, I don't think it happens much. It does happen. It means that judges don't follow the rule of law, that they have an outcome they want to achieve, and they ignore the law to get to that outcome. And to the extent anybody in this race has done that, it is certainly my opponent, who has been repeatedly reversed by the state Supreme Court because she refuses at times to follow the law when she doesn't like the outcome. For instance, she issued an opinion not long ago to release our private confidential voting information to a right-wing group that had attempted to overturn our 2020 election. Now, that decision was directly contrary to another decision that had been issued beforehand that said, no, this was confidential information. But my opponent ignored the law. The Supreme Court of our state said she patently disregarded the law because she wanted a certain result. She wanted her friends, her right-wing friends, to get access to this information. So that is an example of a judge having a certain outcome that they wanted and achieving it and ignoring the law in the process. Thankfully, she was reversed by our state Supreme Court.
Well, let me ask a question. In terms of then you have advocated as part of your work at Planned Parenthood around reproductive health issues. If there is a particular case that would come that would probably fall within that, would you recuse yourself, or would you be part of that, any decision that was made?
So, Keith, I have been an attorney for 30 years. I was in private practice in Milwaukee when I first started out. I have represented a lot of clients, mostly normal people, regular people who had legal issues. That was the whole focus of my private practice. So I have advocated as an attorney on many, many issues. And that does not mean I have to recuse myself because I practiced law in certain areas. Recusal requires that we look at the individual case in front of us and we determine if we can be fair and impartial. My opponent, in contrast, has a commercial up saying her agenda is to protect abortion restrictions. She actually uses the word agenda. So if anybody had to recuse themselves on an issue of reproductive health care, it would be my opponent as a judge who has prejudged the issue. I have done no such thing as a judge. As I said, I worked on a lot of issues as an attorney, but that does not necessitate recusal unless I determine in a particular case that I cannot be fair and impartial.
Some of your ads though has talked about the your opponent's support of the 1800s abortion.
Yes. Yep.
So does that mean that you formed an opinion in terms of how then that law should be interpreted, or whether or not that law should be struck down?
Well, that's different. That's already a case that's been decided.
Okay.
We can comment on cases that have been decided. What my opponent is doing is commenting on how she would rule on cases that haven't been decided. So the 1849 abortion ban, which would have eliminated abortion in almost every instance in Wisconsin, was struck down by our state Supreme Court. So there's nothing that precludes me from commenting on that because it's already been decided. I agree with the state Supreme Court in striking down that ban. It was the right legal decision. My opponent disagrees. She has said she would have likely voted to enforce that criminal abortion ban. So we differ very much on that case and many other cases. That's not the only one, but that is a big difference between us.
What there's an issue right now about federalizing elections.
Yes.
How would that impact the state of Wisconsin, and would the state of Wisconsin Supreme Court have to hear any of those issues surrounding the possible federalizing of elections?
It is possible. I think if President Trump continues on with these threats to take over elections, there will be many lawsuits. There will probably be many lawsuits brought in federal court. There could be a lawsuit brought in our state. And the threats are concerning because what our federal constitution provides is any power not specifically delegated to the federal government remains the power of the states. And states have typically, it's been interpreted and applied that it's the states that administer elections, not the federal government. So it is concerning what he has been saying, but I imagine if he takes further steps to try to take over our elections, there's going to be numerous lawsuits at the federal and state level to attempt to challenge this.
And my final question, is the state of Wisconsin Constitution a living a living document, or is it fixed based on the current language that's in it in terms of the Constitution?
Well, thank you. That's a really good question, Keith, and another huge difference between myself and my opponent. I don't believe the Constitution is frozen in 1848. Our state constitution, I don't believe the federal constitution was frozen in 1788. My opponent does. She wants to go back in time, and she's what's called an originalist, and wants to say, well, if the right did not exist explicitly, if it wasn't mentioned in the Constitution, and it wasn't accepted in society at the time, it does not exist. And you can go back in time, Keith, and there's so many rights that weren't recognized that we recognize now. The right of interracial couples to marry. That was outlawed by many states. That was a U.S. Supreme Court decision in 1965, which said, no, you cannot preclude interracial couples from marrying. The right to contraception is not mentioned in the Constitution. But yet we recognize that that is a personal, private decision that people have the right to make. And that's in the Liberty Clause of the 14th Amendment. So I root my constitutional interpretation. Yes, the history of the Constitution is important, and precedent, prior cases are important. But the general principles in the Constitution have to evolve and come with us into present day. My opponent wants to freeze them in times where a lot of people didn't have any rights.
Judge Chris Taylor, she's a candidate for the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. Anything you want to live with our listeners here on Election Day?
I am running to be a justice for the people of Wisconsin. That's who I care about. I will prioritize them, not the billionaires, not the most powerful, and not the most privileged, but the people. And I am so honored to have had this opportunity to run, and I would ask everyone for their vote today. Thanks so much, Keith.
Thank you, Judge Chris Taylor. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
And again, it's Election Day. The polls are open till 8 this evening. If you're not sure what your registration status is, you can go to My Vote, and you can check your registration status, and then you can, let me give you the number that you can call. Number for voting status in Wisconsin. Okay. You can go to My Vote WI. Again, My Vote WI to see again what your registration status is. If those of you who have already voted, done early voting, use Dropbox. You can see whether or not your ballot has been received. And let me do City of Milwaukee voting. And I'll give you the number for the City of Milwaukee Election Commission. Here we go. City of Milwaukee Election Commission. I'm just pulling up the number, y'all. So vote burn, and here we go. Elections, vote, vote here. Where's the phone number? Where's the phone number? There is no phone number. Here it is. You can call 414-286-VOTE. That's 414-286-8683 or vote, right? So 414-286-8683. Or you can also go by email, voterinfo@milwaukee.gov. And again, was My Vote Wisconsin. You can go in and just check your status. It is Election Day, and it's a beautiful day to kind of be out and to go vote. All right. As we wind down another program, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, brothers, what's happening? How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Where you been? Hey, brothers. Brothers gonna work it out. Wait. Brothers gonna work it out. That's Willie Hutch. You know, Willie Hutch was a songwriter at Motown. Yeah, and everybody know I just love songwriters, right? I mean, I love the performers. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't nothing like Ain't nothing like the real. Look at me. Look at that. Yeah, ain't nothing like the real thing.
That's it.
Oh man, that is. Let's see. Yeah, but I think that's Ashford and Simpson.
I think Marvin did it first, right?
No, I think they wrote it.
Oh, Ashford wrote it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because a lot of people covered that song.
A good song you want to cover, right?
Yeah. Some people shouldn't cover it though because they mess it up. Put their own.
Rhonda and I were in New York for for our anniversary one year, and because we went to Frisco for our honeymoon, but we were in New York, so we went to Lincoln Center, and this woman was doing, she was doing Sting.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So she stung.
Oh my God.
She stung up the place.
She stung.
Man. No disrespect to Sting, but I didn't know it was Sting when, Sting did Fragile, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was Sting. So, people go in and interpret. I don't know. Did anybody hear that group last night that sang the national anthem?
Oh my God.
I didn't see them because I was listening to them in the car. Were they black?
Yeah, they was black.
Oh my God. I was listening to them in the car. They were
Ooh, that
for
harmony
the
was
HBCU.
no. For the national
Oh
championship.
no,
game.
I didn't watch.
Doc, when I tell you the harmony was
Dude, it was
through the
incredible.
roof.
And like I said, I couldn't see him.
Yeah, they put a church spin on it.
Yeah, man. It was, man. And those of us who like love great harmony. Let's see. Yep. Ashford and Simpson.
Ashford Simpson.
Did you see Sunday night? Did you see Kirk Franklin and all them?
No.
Sunday night where?
The HBCU.
Oh no, man, I missed that.
What was the HBCU All-Star game?
No, this was like a fundraiser where they was raising
okay.
money.
Was that on BET?
Yes.
Okay.
See, I wonder why they didn't show Trick Daddy in the Alpha.
You back on that?
Yeah, Trick love the kids.
Let me.
Trick love the kids.
I was watching. That's funny. I was watching.
Got candy.
I don't know if it was the pilot of Blackish or the second episode where he wanted Junior to have black friends. So he's out in his car, and these three young brothers at the bus stop. He pull up. He go, hey, he said, I got snacks and tricks and treats. If if you get in my car.
Yeah, right.
I got candy.
And it kept getting worse. And there was this woman there recording it, right? I had a Carvey moment. It was like, oh man. But he said, I got treats and stuff if you want to come back to the house. And they looking at him like
it's getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse. And he just doing it, just piling on, just pile some. Finally, he figured out, man, I'm on the verge of catching the case. And he ended up
so Jermaine, since we're talking about sweets, did you get some of Michelle's pudding yesterday?
Yes, man. I got some of the pudding, and boy, listen here, man.
Yeah, they was both of them sitting up here eating Brenda's pudding yesterday.
It was awesome. So Miss Brenda, if you're listening, can I put an order in?
Don't do that, man.
I don't put an order in.
Nah, because I'm going back and forth with her husband.
About the cake.
Now he put the orders in. So no, don't even. He go, Jermaine put an order in. No.
I think he was maybe breaking the ice, but bringing that whole thing of pudding in here like that.
Did you get some?
I didn't. I'm not big on sweets like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When they were looking at it yesterday, one of my favorite nicknames going back in the day, pudding.
Pudding.
Puddin. Puddin. That was one of my favorite ones. I knew a young lady. For years I didn't know her name was Yolanda. It was always Puddin.
Yeah, everybody called her Puddin.
You know Puddin?
I know a chick named Puddin, and I never knew her real name.
Really?
Yeah.
And then I was at the pharmacy at Freighter Hospital, and there was a sister. Her name was Blessing.
Oh Lord.
And I could tell because I could hear a little bit. I said, "Are you Nigerian?" And she goes, "How do you know?" I said, "Well, your name." She said, "Yeah, we take names like Blessings and Precious." And but her name was Blessing.
Quick question Debo was here earlier, but would you invite NWA to a police event?
Well, I guess you could invite Ice Cube now.
Right.
The Ice-T, because they both had songs like the Police, right? Yeah. And now what they playing? Police.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea to bring Trick Daddy to a Divine Nine event?
That's the point that I'm getting at, because from the get-go,
maybe for the Qs,
right? But a room full of all women,
AKA on top of it.
Yeah, like what did you expect?
And I preached a sermon one time. Don't get mad at the dog.
That part.
Because the dog is only going to do what's in the dog's nature to do.
So if you listen to this man's record, he.
Well, a whole lot of them was listening. A whole lot of because they had to know who he was.
You know who he is. So for you to bring him and then put him on stage 45 seconds.
Wait, hold on. So see, you got the good girl, and then you got good girls who like bad boys.
Good girls.
So it sounds like a whole lot of because there wasn't no pushback and getting them there. Pushback was once he got on stage.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, but somebody had to know who he was.
Come on, man.
And heard some of his songs.
Come on, man.
Man, come on, man. Don't
do the radio edit version. But even if you do the radio edit version, his songs are still sexual.
What did Mouse say, man? In The Devil in the Blue Dress? Why you leaving with me? You know what I'm gonna do.
Dude, that's just like having a snake on your shoulder that bite. Oh, this beautiful snake, and then you get bit. Like
right. You surprised at the snake. It's in their nature.
That part.
And then wait a minute. Then he doubled down on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you might want to talk to your boy Kanye, who, because now they done shut down the wireless festival where he's gonna make some real bank in England.
But he just did a concert, man, that was crazy.
Oh, he did too. They sold out.
Sold, and he made millions.
But he didn't know he had to go to England. So then he guessed. He said, "Well, basically, let me paraphrase. I guess I need to repair my." You think?
Yeah.
And then your ex came out and said she don't ever remember a traumatic head experience. So
who you talking about?
Kanye.
No, you talking about the Kardashian?
No, yeah,
the new ex?
yeah. No, the Kardashian.
Something wrong with her anyway, man. I wouldn't take her word for it.
Boy, they know how to pick them, don't they?
Man,
because then Chloe take
Lamar.
they know how to.
And then the mama boy.
Well, the mama though. Oh, that's right. She married Bruce Jenner,
and now she's like dating young guys.
Okay, hey, I ain't mad.
No, I ain't mad at her.
I ain't mad at her. Shoot, Cougars
need love.
All right, let me think.
Need love too.
Gigolos need love too. So let me.
You singing that for Angela? Who you singing that for?
Let me thank Miss Julia Means, Miss Brittany Buchanan, Judge Chris Taylor.
Doing the Clark
so
now.
giving you
you
cricket.
are in news. Giving you
cricket.
So he had quite a birthday, huh?
Yeah. That cat didn't come.
Let me tell you something, man. You can't celebrate birthdays in your 60s like you did in your 20s. I'm just saying.
Especially in the middle of the week.
Oh, man.
Like Monday?
All right. All right, man. Hey, y'all. The good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace.